Hello everyone, I am Luciana Calvo from the State University of Maringá. I am here with Bruna Mardegan to present the work entitled Virtual Exchange in a Teacher Education Program in Brazil. In our presentation, we are going to talk about some of the virtual exchange initiatives we developed in our context with partners from many different parts of the world. Also, we are going to share some of the results of those initiatives.
Hello, everyone. So when we say virtual exchange, we are talking about online collaboration of students from different cultural contexts to develop joint tasks or projects as part of their educational programs under the guidance of their professors or facilitators. During these projects, synchronous and asynchronous platforms can be used for their interaction. And VE is also considered as an important tool for internationalization at home because it develops different skills, language skills, digital and soft skills, and also intercultural competence if we consider that the participants, they are interacting with people from different cultural contexts. And also VE contributes to global citizenship education. In our context here at the State University of Maringá, VEs, they have been developed since 2022, and the first initiative was the one carried out by Professor Calvo and Professor Hartle. And we have partnerships with professors from different countries, such as the United States, Honduras, Algeria, Israel, Germany, Finland, and Switzerland. When it comes to research here in our context have been developed by PhD and undergraduate students. As an example, my PhD research, is about a VE project developed between Brazil and Honduras. We also have research in joint projects with the VE partners, just like Professor Luciana Calvo and Professor Lynn Hartle from the USA, and also as part of postdoctoral research, just like Professor Luciana Calvo's research, which is about VE in the Brazilian context.
The first virtual exchange I developed was in partnership with Professor Lynn Hartle from the Pennsylvania State University. As Bruna said, it was the first initiative in our context, and it was developed in different years. It was developed in 2022, 2023, and 2024. It was carried out in the courses we taught in our universities as part of the curricular activities. At WEN, the course I taught was English Teacher Education. It is an in-person course for students from the third year of the Language Arts undergraduate program. The course Professor Lynn Hartle used to teach at PSU was Introduction to Teaching English Language Learners. It was an online and asynchronous course for pre-service teachers. In the first 2 years of the project, in 2022 and 2023, different groups of students worked in joint cross-cultural projects related to teacher education and second or foreign language learning. In 2024, other groups of students worked on asynchronous activities and discussion in breakout rooms on the topic of global education. Another virtual exchange developed in our context was focused on artificial intelligence. Professors and students from another Brazilian university, the Federal University of Espírito Santo, also participated, and we collaborated with partners from Honduras, Israel, and a professor from Germany. In this VE, participants interacted via synchronous and asynchronous platforms to discuss and reflect on AI in their practice as future or as educators. Besides learning about AI, they could also post comments and a video, reflect on aspects related to critical and ethical issues on using AI in education.
Another partnership that we have is a sustainable partnership between Brazil and Honduras, more specifically with Professor Katia Albando. Katia and I, we have developed three VE projects. The first one was in 2023, and the courses involved were English for academic and teaching performance here in Brazil, and English 1 as part of their English career program in Honduras. So during this first VE initiative, the students, they could interact in 2 synchronous meetings, and also they developed different asynchronous activities with different tools like Padlet, Google Classroom, Google Jamboard. And the topics that they discussed, they were about their cultural context. So in the beginning, they could present a little bit about their country, about the city, about the university in general. And also later on, they could address more specific topics related to education. So the educational context or their educational background in Brazil and Honduras, how it was for them to study to become English teachers here in Brazil, for example. During the second VE, we couldn't have synchronous meetings because of the time zone and also because of the schedule of the courses. The courses were English, Oral Production and Comprehension 3, and English 1. So the students, they interacted asynchronously via tools like Padlet, Google Classroom, and also they recorded videos to address the topics. And they recorded videos asking questions and answering questions. The topics that they covered were more related to the oral skill and learning English, so they could discuss, for example, different strategies or different activities that could be used in classroom to develop oral skills. They also talked a little bit about their own experience learning to speak English and their experience as learners and not only as future teachers. The last project that we developed together was in 2024, the end of the year, and the courses involved were Integrated Communicative Skills 1 and English 1. The project lasted 4 weeks, and we also had a feedback week with a feedback session in which the students, they could share their impressions or give suggestions for future VE initiatives. And we had around 60 participants, around 18 people from Brazil and 42 from Honduras, including the professors. We had synchronous and asynchronous activities, including 2 synchronous meetings using Google Meet. And we discussed mainly motivations and challenges in the English language teaching career, considering that they are in the beginning of their program. So we wanted to address their reasons for choosing this career and the challenges that they face in their contexts, and share what is similar, and to share their experiences in general and what they expect for their careers in the future.
Now, thinking about the results of some of the VE initiatives developed in the teacher education program at WEN in collaboration with partners from different institutions. We can say that in general, they were enriching and significant experiences for the participants. We also identified some challenges, such as the institutional infrastructure for the online collaboration, the time zones, our workload at the university, among others. We think it is important to identify them, not only those ones, but others that may appear, to consider the challenges when planning other VEs, or to replan or reorganize some aspects of the VEs in progress. Another aspect to mention is that we always reflect about the VE in our publications and academic presentations. By doing this, we continue the partnership with our international colleagues, and we bring an analytical lens to look at them. Thinking about the learners' engagement, we observe that they feel motivated for the interactions, and they usually take the initiative and leadership to develop the tasks. So we can see a student-centered pedagogy. Also, in most situations, they use English as a lingua franca to communicate with students from many different countries, and they see a purpose for using the language. There is a meaningful context for practicing it. Another result that we want to highlight is the contact that pre-service teachers have with varied digital tools. They learn about them by using them, and by experiencing technology and collaboration in their classes and activities. They may also feel inspired to integrate them in their classes as future teachers. As we reflect on the VE projects in our research and publications, we continue working with our international partners after the VE and in many other initiatives, as I said before. So by this, we see a possibility of sustainable partnership through virtual exchange. In our context, as Bruna said before, there are many virtual exchange research projects being developed. By carrying out research, we can also analyze the impact and outcomes of VE, and we can also be in contact with other VE researchers. Finally, by incorporating global and intercultural perspectives in the curriculum and co-curriculum of our program through virtual exchange, we see it as a powerful and relevant initiative for more students to experience international opportunities in their own context of learning.
So these are some of our references for this presentation. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any comments, any suggestions or questions, you can email us. Thank you.